Well, welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, March 29th of 2017. My name is Pete Connor. I'm your host, and we have a repeat visitor. We have Nancy Ness with us from the Steele County Food Shelf. Always good to have Nancy to tell us what's going on down at the food shelf. And then we'll have a pre-filmed segment of the Crisis Resource Center's Healing of the Arts of Our Children speaker that Leanne will have filmed. Her name is Connie Nelson, and she'll be on afterwards. So as a reminder, we sure always appreciate your input as to what you'd like to see on the program for guests. If you have someone who you think needs some recognition, special recognition, please let us know. And also, if you know of an event that needs to have some advertising, please let us know. And you can let us know by contacting us at Owatonna Today at charter.net or by calling Leanne Alt, the show's producer, at 390-5751. And now we're going to take a quick break for some messages from our sponsors and be right back with Nancy. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Greetings from the Steele County Historical Society. We invite you to visit us and enjoy your county's history at the History Center and Village of Yesteryear. Check our website for current exhibits and monthly programs.
Did you know there are families in Steele County that go to bed hungry every night? This is Nancy Ness from the Steele County Food Shelf, reminding you that March is Minnesota Food Share Campaign Month. In January alone, we provided food to more than 600 Steele County households, and the need continues to grow. This March, our goal is to raise $100,000. Please help us keep our shelves stocked with nutritious food by donating money or food items to the Steele County Food Shelf. No one in Steele County should have to go to bed hungry. Thank you for your generous support of the Steele County Food Shelf.
Well, welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. And with me now is Nancy Ness from the Food Shelf. And welcome back, Nancy.
Thanks.
Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you,
How's
Pete.
it going? 4 months into the program for you. How's it going?
It's been busy. Let me tell you, it's been a whirlwind of events since I started in the beginning of December. But things are going well. We're moving forward, and we've had some great successes since then.
Super. I said to Nancy before we went on air that, are you still on probation? She says, I don't know, the board hasn't told me yet.
We'll see.
We'll see, yeah. Well, let's talk about some things that are going on and have gone on. And you know what? Yeah. We want to talk a little bit about the relative success of Hometown Sampler and other things that you've been doing. So why don't you take it?
All right. Well, this is Minnesota Food Share Month, so it's our big fundraising month for the year. That came about because a group of Minneapolis churches decided that March was a good month to do it, and so they've been doing it since about 1992. So we're part of that organization. There are about 300 food shelves that are part of that. Last year we were number 13 in the state, so hopefully this year we can do as well, if not better. But that says a lot for the Steele County community and how we pull together and really support these services. So,
you know, and that's important to say that because, you know, you talk about critical mass of people. Metro, you know, has so many people, and yet here you are, number 13.
It's amazing. It really does say something. And I hear the same thing from a lot of clients saying, you know, I've had to go to other food shelves, but I can tell you that this is one of the best in the state. And it's not that we're trying to outdo any others, but I think we understand the critical nature of helping people feel like they have a good shopping experience and offering the right kinds of nutritious foods to them. So
Right. And with dignity.
yes, and respect.
Yes.
Yes, that's
Good,
right.
good,
So,
good.
yep. So Minnesota Food Share Month, we had a goal of $100,000, and I can tell you that we've passed that now. We have 101,294.
Wonderful.
It is about 37,000 shy of what we had last year, so we've got a couple days yet. Would love to see a few more donations come in, and maybe we can top that. As far as pounds of food, we are about almost 3,800 pounds ahead of what we did last year, so we're at 31,389. So it's been really great, and again, for me in my first year, it's just been a very heartening experience for me, and to see people from the communities come out and really show their support has been wonderful.
Sure, excellent.
Yep.
The products that you get are always, you always want them to be nutritious. So I mean, a can of coffee probably isn't the kind of thing that you like to see as part of a donation. But, you know, and maybe there are some things that, you know, there's something to be said to feed the heart too.
Well, exactly. I mean, we can't be real picky. It's great to have nutritious foods. It's great to get proteins, vegetables, those kinds of things. But, you know, if we get a can of coffee slipped in here and there, we all kind of enjoy that from time to time. So
Good. How
I
many
understand.
clients now are you serving?
We have about 600 individual households.
Okay.
And there's about 2.67 people per household, so we're looking at around 1,500 individuals throughout Steele County.
And that'd be for the annually?
Yes, and that's just for the people that come to our food shelf. So now our Meals in Motion program, that's a different set of individuals.
Okay.
And of course, that's just taking off. We have about 68 households registered with about 75 people. The average age for those folks are 73. I wanted to calculate what that was so that we understood the types of individuals we're working with. So 78 or 73, they require a little bit different food than what we're serving clients that actually come to us. So it's been very interesting.
Probably people who might find it more difficult to get to the shelf by car or conveyance.
That is one of the requirements.
Yeah,
So
okay.
if they can come to us, they need to continue to come to us. It's those folks that are shut-ins or can't leave their home for whatever reason, don't have a mode of transportation. Those are the ones that we're helping feed with the Meals in Motion
I
program.
have to ask a question about the vehicle. It's got something painted on the top. The 4 letters.
Fred.
Fred?
It's our friendly Fred.
Is that its name? You've named it?
Well, yes, we've named it, but it's an acronym, and
Okay.
it stands for Food Resource and Education Delivery. So there is some meaning behind it, but I've had people tell me, I saw Fred the other day. It looks great. Like, yeah, I think it does.
It's a great looking vehicle.
It really is. Yep.
I have to ask you about its infrastructure. Is there any refrigeration in there?
We have 2 small refrigeration units. Not so important this time of year, but boy, when we get into summer, we're going to need those for the eggs and the dairy products that we deliver. Also, this summer, we'll be implementing a program with the schools, the Owatonna school system, and helping deliver food to children during noon hours at the library.
Okay.
Right now, that's our plan. So, we'll be taking on a little additional responsibility there and helping take care of those kids during the summer.
Let me ask you about the schedule. I don't know if the schedule is a good word, but are there times during the year that are spike times where you see more people coming in? Or is it fairly level throughout the 12 months?
Well, I don't have a lot of experience with that yet, but I know that December was a very busy month for us, as was October last year. So why that happens, I'm not exactly sure. I think summers are also busy because we've got more families at home throughout the day, so people tend to need more food because their kids are home. But I also I know that we get additional vegetables brought in from some of the farmers market people and from others that are growing vegetables in their gardens. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Volunteers. You have lots of volunteers.
We do, but we always need more. And actually this morning I spent a little time thinking about what are some of the things that are falling by the wayside, and I wanted to make sure I mentioned those. We've been always, since the beginning of time for the food shelf, we've been keeping a scrapbook. Gosh, that really needs to be updated. So, if someone's looking for just a short-term project, we really could use some help getting that scrapbook updated. We have a website that needs to be updated. We're also trying to get someone to help us redo it so it can be updated a little bit. But again, we've got some regular updates. I'd like to have someone really focus on our Facebook account, maybe help maintain that and get stuff out there, that's really get out to the community more often.
Sure.
And we would like to have a YouTube page. So if there's someone out there that's technically savvy and would really like to help us, that's something they can do from home. Those would be great.
They're in an elementary school right now.
I know, it's crazy. And then also we have really need for someone to do some order intake for our Meals in Motion program.
Okay.
So really some great opportunities for people. Some, if they want to work from home, they can on some of those. And
Right. You have paid staff, though, too.
we do.
Obviously, you're the executive director of paid
Yep.
staff, and you've got some others. How many others do you have?
Well, Alonzo, he's the general manager of the actual food shelf itself. Rich Pettit is the program coordinator for the Meals in Motion. And then Alicia comes over and works 10 hours a day doing some administrative work that I don't have time for. And yep.
Sure. Fruits, vegetables, here we are kind of springtime, of course, but tell us about the fruit and vegetable program.
Well, what we've tried to do, what we've done in the past is we have fresh fruits and vegetables available, so when they come to shop, they can pick out about as much as they want. Well, we decided we were going to move that out for daily. So now people, when they come, they'll see this beautiful display of fruits and vegetables. Whatever we have available is out. And we've just had great feedback from that. The clients say it just looks beautiful. That's where they go to. As soon as they come in, they go there and it's like, oh, can I take 10 of these? And, it depends on how many we have, but it's just been great.
Sure, excellent. No, you're always on campaign, always looking for funds, and I know that you have some great corporate sponsors, and I know that it's difficult sometimes to get into a place like this and start to name names and everything because typically somebody falls off, and we feel bad about that. So we'll say that we've got good corporate support for the food shelf.
We really have, and that is one of the things that I don't know that I'm really surprised, but I am just delighted to see the support from churches, civic organizations, corporations throughout the county. It's just been wonderful.
Excellent.
Yep.
And of course, we all want to know that you continue. It doesn't stop at the end of March. I mean, donations are welcome all the time.
People are hungry throughout the year.
Excellent. Well, good report, and thanks for being here. And best wishes as you go forward into late spring and summer. And I'm sure we'll have you back here another time. And thanks again. Best wishes. Yeah.
Thank you, Pete.
And thank you for being with us for this segment. And we're now going to take a word from our sponsors, so please stay with us.
Looking for that perfect birthday party idea for your child? I have exactly what you're looking for, a pool or gym party at the West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center. Hi, this is Brad. Contact me today at 774-7102 to schedule the party every child will love. Birthday party packages are available year-round. West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center, encouraging and promoting a healthy lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Michael Mager with the Brick Mager Funeral Home and the Medford Funeral Home. At Brick Mager, we are privileged to have served the families of Steele County community for 118 years.
Whether you choose traditional burial or cremation, we promise the tribute your loved one deserves with the peace of mind that you require.
We are proud to be part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, my name is Katie Marshall. A year ago, my family and I became homeless. We were scared and alone. Today, with the help of Steele County Transitional Housing and generous donors like you, my family and I are safely housed. I am working, going to college, paying my rent on time. My children have a warm bed to sleep in every night. My family and I are so grateful for this second chance. Please help others in need by donating to transitional housing today. Everyone deserves a safe place to live.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, Your Community Connection. I am here with Connie Nelson, and she has just finished speaking at the Crisis Resource Center's fundraiser, Healing the Hearts of Our Children. And she had a very powerful story to share with the audience. Connie, welcome to the Owatonna Today Show.
Thank you very much.
Now, you yourself has suffered for over 30 years, if I remember correctly from your speech, from domestic abuse. Can you tell us a bit about that? How did the situation happen to you, and why did it take so long for you to finally be able to leave the situation?
I'd like to think that I was vulnerable to his grooming. I did not have good self-esteem as a teenager. Mm-hmm. And it's like he was able to seek that out, like he saw that in me. I'm also a very caretaking and a giving person, and I think they also seek that out as well. Mm-hmm. My mother was a controlling person in her own right. Mm-hmm. So I think I had that. So
you're kind of used to that growing up?
Yes, I think I had some of that down as part of what life was about. Mm-hmm. And so it didn't seem so odd to me that he had expectations and things that he thought that I should do and be, and because of my low self-esteem, didn't think that I had a right to say, no, that's not okay, or no, I don't want that, or no, this is what I want.
Sure. And how old were you at the time when you met him?
I was 16 when I first met him, and I was...
Okay, that's quite young and quite impressionable.
Yes, and they come at you, and when I say they, I mean abusers, will come at you with all this intense attention and this overwhelming caring, I'll take care of you, I love you, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, almost to now when I think about it, it almost makes me ill to think that somebody was so vainly overzealous about that relationship. But at the time, it was wonderful to have somebody that you thought cared that much about you, and that you were the most important thing to them, and they were going to do everything they could to make you happy, and the whole gamut of what everybody's looking for when they are young and in love.
All right. And how old was he at the time?
He was a year older, just a year older.
Oh, just a year older. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you ended up getting married.
We did.
And then you said after about 6 months you started, as you look back now in particular, you started to see some things happening which actually which are triggers for people.
Yes.
Kind of thing. And what were those things that you noticed?
Yeah. Well, some of the, losing his temper and blaming me for everything that went on. Never taking responsibility for his own actions. If you hadn't done this or you hadn't done that, this wouldn't have happened. And many times I had nothing to do with any of it, but it was all my fault, and that was huge for him. And the fact that he got so angry that he pulled back his arm like he was going to hit me. I was instantly fearful. Mm-hmm. And as it turns out, should have been a lot more fearful, but at that point, it was like, but I blew it off with, he's just having a bad day. I made excuses for his behavior.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this was a man that you loved.
Absolutely.
But you also said that there were some other things, and this can be something that other abusers do, but they isolate you?
Absolutely.
And in what ways are they isolating?
They keep you away from friends and family. Many of them will not let their significant others have a job or work away from the home because then they can't. It's about keeping their eye on you, about knowing what you're doing, who you're talking to, who you're with all the time. That's part of their control, and they need to know that. I wasn't allowed to work off the farm for 30 years. I mean, not that I didn't have enough to do on the farm, because I did, but looking back, I think that perhaps if I had been able to go off the farm and work, that maybe things would have been different. I'm not sure how exactly, but
well, and living out in the country too can be quite isolating in and of itself.
Absolutely.
Too.
Absolutely.
And I think in other stories that I've heard about abusers, they try to isolate you not only from your family, but geographically as well.
Correct.
Physically as well.
Yes.
All right. So you stayed with this gentleman for 30 years, and you had how many children?
We had 6.
You had 6 children.
Yes.
What were some of the reasons, because as the abuse kept escalating over the years.
Yes.
What were some of the reasons that kept you in that particular relationship?
Probably the number one reason was fear. Not only fear of his physical repercussions if I tried to leave and was not successful, or even if I left and he at some point caught up with me, but also the fear that he would take my kids away. I mean, they were my life. They were my reason for living, basically. And so the fear that he would call Child Protection or Social Services and tell them that I was a bad mom and they should take my kids, or that he would come and get the kids if I had left with them and take them away from me, were probably the 2 biggest things that kept me in that relationship. The fear of my own safety and my well-being, and the fear that he would take my kids.
Absolutely.
I mean, I had no self-esteem. I didn't have any money. He controlled all the economics in our family. I didn't have keys. I didn't have a car. I mean, none of those things were ever available to me to leave.
And at one point he took the phone out of the house.
And he had ripped the phone out of the wall. Yes.
Yeah.
So there was, no communication other than by snail mail, I guess, would probably been the only thing. We didn't have the internet in those days, so
yes,
it was
true.
a different time.
That's true. So you finally left the relationship. You had a really bad episode about a year after you left where he kidnapped you and took you down to Mexico, and you suffered a lot of physical pain, and you actually even suffered a stroke.
Correct.
Because of it. So then what do you do now? I mean, it's really interesting what your life's work has been for the last 16, 17 years.
All right. Well, we had, after the kidnapping, there was a trial, and after that, there was lots of counseling, mental health therapy for me, support group kind of thing to move past what I'd endured, physical therapy to get past my physical issues, and then I decided to become part of the crisis line unit for Hands of Hope Resource Center in Todd and Morrison counties.
Okay.
And so that's kind of how I got my start, was answering the crisis line phone, talking to other victims who were maybe in some of the same places that I had been at one point or another. And so I did that for about a year, and then there was a staff position opening for the domestic violence coordinator for the organization, and I was fortunate enough to get hired on, and have pretty much been doing domestic violence work ever since.
That's really amazing, and maybe that's one reason why you went through everything that you went through, so that now you could be there for other people.
Right.
What do you say to other people who come to you in your role, who are going through domestic violence of some form? What advice, first of all, do you give people on that? Whether it be a man or a woman, because certainly domestic violence is not relegated to one sex or the other.
No, it's not. Depending on what their situation is, I usually just invite them in and just say, tell me what's going on. And we talk a lot about what things are happening in their life. As they go through that, if I will sometimes relay things that have happened in my own life, just to help them understand that I know what they're talking about, that I understand them.
Exactly.
And I think that's the biggest piece, is to really understand what they're saying and listen to them. And then to go from there and to decide what steps should be taken next. Do you need to go see a divorce attorney? Do we need to get you a safe home? Do we need to put you in shelter? Are you and your kids going to be safe if you go back home? Does he know you're here? And perhaps set him up with some kind of mental health counseling therapist to help them deal with the issues. Because the physical violence is horrendous, and it can be deadly, obviously. But the emotional and verbal abuse oftentimes carry a much longer lasting result than even the physical abuse.
Absolutely. How are you good to yourself after this was all said and done and you started going through counseling? Because that's one way to heal, I think, is to really make yourself the priority.
Right. And I've never been good about making myself priority in anything. So that's
a lot of us are like that.
Yes, and that's a struggle that I've had most of my life. But I spend a lot of time with my grandchildren and my family. Family is of huge importance to me. I love to be outdoors. Music, my faith in God has been probably the one stronghold that I've had from day one. Just the fact that I know I have somebody who's stronger than I am that can listen to my woes and to understand them and help me figure out how to deal with them. My job at Hands of Hope has been a godsend for me because it's been a place for me to work through my own issues while helping others work through theirs. And then I think probably culminated with my writing my book in 2012.
That had to have been a very cathartic experience for you.
It definitely was. It was, yeah.
So you could get it out and then really truly start to leave it all behind.
Right. Lots of nightmares and lots of reliving bad situations. But the amazing thing I found about that also is that each time I talk about it, or each time even I do a presentation like I did today, I think of something new that I have not really addressed prior to that point. Okay. And that sounds strange because it's been, a long time ago already. It was 2000.
Yeah, I know, but
so
you also went through 30 years of it too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I guess that's. I love to be outdoors, so that's my real lifesavers right there. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming to Owatonna and sharing your story with us, and thank you so much for being a guest on the Owatonna Today Show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Amy Swain Hearing Centers is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better.
Hi, I'm Tim Anderson, the owner of Anytime Fitness, where we make getting healthy affordable and convenient. Anytime Fitness is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. It's time now for some community announcements. First up, we have St. Paul's Episcopal Church, the Lenten Speaker Series, The Things We Treasure, on Wednesdays, and we have two more of those coming up here at 12:10 to 12:30. They're free. Tom Walsh, a senior citizen of Owatonna, a longtime citizen of Owatonna, will be the speaker. Lunch afterwards is $6 if you decide you'd like, and all proceeds will benefit the Steele County Free Clinic as well as the Crisis Resource Center. Art for Hope, Saturday, April 8th at Michelson Funeral Home South Gathering Room from 6:30 to 8, the social hour, 6:30 to 7:45, a silent auction, and at 8 o'clock a live auction. The silent auction will have fabric art created by area individuals living with dementia made into pillows. The live auction will be original wood chair artwork designed and created by local artists. We've had them here. $20 admission will include light refreshments and a bidding number. Cash bar will be available throughout the evening. Tickets are available at Kotke Jewelers, Elks Club, or Deb Gillard at 507-213-1305 or gillard.deb@gmail.com. We will also have the Steele County Free Fair looking for public input on the selection of a grandstand show for the 2017 fair. Choices for this year include an IMP Autocross, Big Air Show, ATVs and quads, or a second demolition derby. Visit the Fair Facebook page and send in your response by March 31st. If you're not on Facebook, you can stop by the Fair office or mail your response to Box 650 in Owatonna, and that'll take care of it for today. Please come back on Friday, which is when we're going to have Greg Schultz and Dick Heidi, and we'll be talking about the Shriners orthopedic examination program, and we'll have a pre-film piece from the Owatonna Arts Center. Well, be well, and I sure hope you'll come back to see us on Friday. Thanks for being with us today.